What is up, and welcome back to the channel. And today we are going to talk about gear snobs. Yes, those wonderful people that love to tell you that your gear sucks and their gear is better, and that you can't buy anything unless it is a Marshall that costs $5,000, or you need a $7,000 or $10,000 Gibson Les Paul because Gibson is God and no other guitar can hold a candle to Gibson, and no other amp can hold a candle to a Marshall JCM 800. Yes, we're going to talk about those people. And if you are one of those people, you may not want to watch this video because I am sure I'm going to piss you off. Anyway, let's get into this. So, after doing YouTube for a while now, and I say in pretty much every video I make that I am not an expert. I am not some flash in the pants amazing guitar player or musician for that matter. I am a rhythm guitar player that loves to play music, and I don't have any claim to fame. Now, I have toured in a band, and I did make a living playing guitar for 3 years doing that, and I toured all up and down the East Coast. That is my biggest claim to fame when it comes to my touring apparatus of what I've done. I've played in several bands over the years. I played in different ones. I've played in front of big crowds. I've been in front of probably maybe around 5,000 people up to like 5 people. So kind of in between. The festivals, I played a few festivals back in the day, had a lot of people there, probably 5, maybe even more than that. I'm just saying, you know, I'm not tooting my horn and saying I played in front of 30,000 people because I've never done that. But I have played some festivals that had pretty good crowds, you know, maybe 5,000-10,000 people, and had a lot of fun doing it, opening for a lot of other bigger bands. But in my process of doing YouTube and doing gear reviews and things like that, and again, I am not an expert when it comes to any of this stuff. When I make videos that I enjoy, and I make videos about gear that I actually use. I don't get gear sent to me. I have no sponsors. I make no money at this. It actually costs me a lot of money to do this because I have a lot of investment in the gear that I do play. But I always felt when I decided to do this YouTube channel that I just wanted to put out stuff, you know, and talk about the gear I like to use, and in the hopes that it would help the next guy out if he was interested in it or things like that. But after a few years of doing this on YouTube and doing it for several years on another channel that I actually run, which is an outdoors channel, I have gotten the trolls and the gear snobs, and ironically, you have gear snobs in the outdoor industry as well, which is really crazy. But you have very opinionated people. Now, when I do a review, it is me giving my opinion as well, but I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm not trying to get you to buy anything. I'm just telling you whether I like this product or not, or if I feel it is useful or not. I am an old school guy. I'm a keep it simple, stupid guy. I don't like a lot of crazy stuff. I like to keep it simple, direct, and to the point. I know that technology today is just advancing faster than we can keep up with it, which is great. And if you want a bunch of crazy technology wired into your rig when you're playing, hey man, more power to you. I'm not going to tell you to not do it. I'm not going to tell you it sucks. I'm going to tell you that that's not what I'm interested in. But if you like that, then you go at it, you hook it up, do whatever you want. Whatever floats your boat and makes you happy and works for you in your flow of however you play music, rock on with your bad self. But these gear snobs like to leave crazy comments and tell you either how shitty you are of a player and how your gear is crap and how you need to buy this, that, and the other. And they list all this crazy stuff out there and try to tell you that if you don't have this, then you're not a real musician or you're not professional in what you're doing, which is a bunch of bullshit. So I want to dispel a few myths for people when it comes to gear and when it comes to what is good and what is not good. So let me explain this in as simple English as I can for you people that are out there that think that it's okay for you to tell you that somebody else's gear sucks and that your gear is the best and the greatest thing on the planet. Well, when it comes to playing and figuring out what is good for you, it boils down to what is best for you when it comes to your gear, whether it's guitar, amps, amp sims, plugins, whatever you're using, cables, picks, I don't care what it is. What's best for you is what you like and what you can afford, not what some asshole on YouTube is trying to tell you that you need to buy. Okay? Now, I have some very high-end equipment, such as this James Hetfield Signature Series ESP that is sitting in my lap. But it took me many years to afford a guitar like this. Now, when you look in my room and you see all the equipment in my room, everyone's like, wow, he's got a lot of gear. Yes, I have a lot of gear, but I am also over 50 years old and have been playing guitar since I was 16 years old, and I have been accumulating gear for that time, hence why I have the gear I have. I started off with very cheap stuff that worked for me and was good enough for what I'm doing, and I slowly traded that in to get better equipment. Now, I will tell you right now that in this day and age, you can buy an amazing guitar for under $500 that you could go out and play any gig with in the world, and anybody that tells you different is full of crap. Because there are so many guitars out there that are awesome that you can get out there and shred with that are under $500 that you can rock out with all night long and stuff and go play any gigs. This right here, this Schecter right here, being one of them, this is a Schecter Omen Extreme, and they run between $400 and $500 depending on the week, month, day, or whatever. But you can find them used for around $300. And they are amazing guitars, and I've had that one for many, many years. So you don't need almost $2,000 guitar to get out there and start playing. These guitars are $18.99, and this was a dream guitar for me to have, and that's why I own it, but it was a lot to pay for, and going broke trying to buy some crazy guitar is not the way you want to do things, you know. I have everything from Epiphone Les Pauls all the way up to stuff like this. These gear snobs that like to sit there and attack you when you're either making videos like I do and making content, or you're somebody that just makes a video because you want to show off your cool new little amp you got or whatever, and then somebody attacks you over telling you how crappy it is. Well, it may not fit them, but it may fit you just fine, and it depends on what kind of sound you're going for. Because if you guys look around my room, I have a lot of orange amps. I love orange amps. It took me many years to afford my orange amps. I do have a Marshall combo right here. This is the MG100 HFX with a 212 cabinet. That's a great amp. And back in the day, that was a super budget amp that you could go out and do anything with. You could get it in a 412 cabinet or a 212. I chose the 212 because I don't feel like lugging 412 cabinets around. I've had that rig for many, many years. It still sounds and plays great. And it is solid state. Oh my God. Yeah, that's another thing. That's a whole nother battle. Solid state over tubes. Well, I got to tell you, my friends, I love both. And when you go to a live show, you probably can't tell the freaking difference, especially with the fractals and things that they have out there and all the stuff they have out there now. I mean, most people are playing out of, most touring musicians, including Metallica, are playing out of solid state rigs because they just hold up better than tube amps. Not that I don't love my tube amps, because I've got a really nice Hughes and Kettner sitting right there. I've got my Blackheart right there. I've got a Black Star right there. So I do like tube amps, but I love solid states. And when it comes to solid states, this Orange Crush 120 Pro or the Orange Super Crush will hold its weight with any tube amp out there, in my opinion. Oh yes, that was my opinion. So I can't wait. I can hear the keyboards going right now because somebody's going to leave a stupid comment. But when it comes to these gear snobs, do not let them get you down. Do not let them tell you that your equipment is crappy, because if it's working for you and you like the sound you're getting and you like the guitar that you're playing, then you play on and rock on with your bad self, because these guys are full of crap. You don't need a $5,000 or $6,000 amp rig, and you don't need a $5,000 or $6,000 guitar or whatever the hell they're spewing out there to go out there and play music and play gigs and do whatever you do and have fun in the music industry. You don't need that. I even catch crap about the cameras that I use to film videos, because everybody thinks I need a $4,000 or $5,000 video camera to make YouTube videos, and I do not need that. I do not use that. I actually use these Zoom, these are the Zoom 4KHs, Zoom Q8 or whatever they are. I can't remember, the Zoom 8. I made a video on it. You guys can see it. But I love these things, and I use GoPros to film all my stuff. I don't need some $4,000 or $5,000. This camera that I use, that I film all my videos in, I've been using for. Let me actually get that right. This is the Q8N 4K, so you guys know. But I've had people like not like the fact that that's what I use to film and stuff. And I got a newsflash for you. That's what I can afford. And I love these things. These things are great for recording. The audio is great. They're point shoot, keep it simple, stupid stuff. I don't need some freaking crazy camera that has so many freaking different things on it that it's going to take me 6 months to figure out how to use it. I want something that I can point, shoot, and make things happen. Now, this camera, is it great for low light conditions? No, it's not the best camera for low light conditions. That's why I have lights that shine to make my stuff look better in my studio and stuff. You know, can you get a better camera? Sure you can. But do I need a better camera? No. And if you guys watch my videos, you can see the quality of these cameras and the audio that comes out. And if you've watched my music videos that I've released from my original songs that are on this channel and on my Silverflow channel, if you guys haven't been there, go over there and hit the like and subscribe button, help that thing going, because that thing only has like 15 views on it. 15 subscribers. Nobody really follows that one. I don't know why. They all watch this one. But I do have a band channel. It's called Silverflow. You guys can go find it, and it would be awesome if you would subscribe to that as well. It's on YouTube. I only post like the band content and my actual music videos over there, but the music videos are on this channel as well. If you haven't seen them, there's a bunch of them up there. One of my favorites is Dear Mr. President. You should check that one out. That one is a pretty good one. I love that one. And YouTube does not like it because I'm talking shit about the current president. But it's a good song. Anyway, back to the gear snob guys. When it comes to your gear and equipment, you guys just get what you can afford. If there's a certain piece of equipment you want and you're interested in, then buy that piece of equipment. Don't think you need all this crazy expensive stuff because somebody's telling you need that stuff. If you look over here, I've got two classic PVs over here. This is a PV Bandit right here, and this is a PV Studio Pro. I've had these are Trans Tube Series amps. I've had them for many, many years. When that Bandit came out, brand new, it was only like $200. Now you can't even buy one of those used for $200. It's crazy with her. But those are the red stripes. They are awesome amps, and if you can get a hold of one of them, man, let me tell you what, this one's a 100-watt one, and this one's a 60-watt one, and that 60-watt one will hold its own anywhere, any club you're playing, you can play that 60-watt one or the 100-watt one. It's got a 112 speaker in it, and it will just peel the paint off of the walls. And the cool thing about those is they also have a speaker out, so you can hook up another cab, which I have that 60 right there sitting underneath a PV cab, so I can turn it into a 212 cab if I want more poof on there. And for me, I love amps on stage. But for you guys that are in the more technical stuff that aren't using amps anymore, that are going direct into PAs and stuff like that, and you're not lugging cabs and you don't want to do any of that, and you're using all this newer stuff, like the Boss GT1000 I have down here that you can program amps and cabs in, and you can just take that and go straight into a PA system, which I do sometimes. Man, rock on with your bad self, man. If you guys like, that's how you like to gig and how you like to do stuff, especially if you're a touring guy and you don't want to lug a bunch of stuff. There's so many things out there now that can get you amp sims and stuff that you can tour with, that you can put on a pedal board and go just crush everything you want. And I think that's awesome. I think that technology is super cool, because if you don't want to carry a lot of gear, I think that kind of technology is well worth its weight in gold, especially since they're really getting the sound down of that. So somebody telling you that you need to have this or have that, man, whatever works for you. And me, if I was a big time gigging and touring musician, I would want to cut my stuff down. And you know, when you're doing fly dates and things like that, having something that you just plug into the PA and not having to worry about lugging stuff, that is awesome. You can have floor monitors that are giving you the pushback so you're getting the sound, you know. But for me as an old school guy, I love having an amp on stage. I love turning the knobs and playing that. I love feeling that behind me. So anytime I go play, I usually try to bring an amp with me because I like amps. But if you're not somebody that wants to lug an amp, you don't have to anymore. They make so much cool stuff out there that you don't have to do that with, that you can do what you want. And if that's what you're into, man, rock on. The other thing that I get with the gear snobs is that I still record on a multi-track recorder. I've made videos about that. I use a 16-track Fostex that I've been using for many, many years. But I get the gear snobs that tell me that I need to upgrade and I need to record on a DAW and I need to use this and I need to use that and I need to do this and no, do that. And if that's how you like to do stuff, that's great, but I don't need to do that. I love using a multi-track recorder. That's how I've been recording my whole career since I started playing in music, back when the multi-track recorders were little 4-tracks with reel tapes on them. That's when I started recording. And I think I even talked about that in one of my videos, how we used to take the old boom boxes that had 2 tape players, and we put our cassette that we recorded on our 4-track, put it in there, and to make duplicates, you'd hit record and you'd duplicate on blank tapes, and that's how we would make our demos to hand out to people to get shows and get our music out there. And we would draw our own artwork on there and write our name on there in pen and stuff, and pencil, and make it look cool and stuff. Yeah, that was back in the day. But don't let the gear snobs get you, because they're out there, but most of them don't know what the hell they're talking about, and I don't let them get to me. As a matter of fact, if you comment and say stupid stuff on my videos, you're going to get a comment back from me that's going to tell you how dumb you really are. You know, and again, I am no expert. I try to do the best I can with what I can, and that's the other thing. People think that I need to be some professional expert to talk about stuff, and all I'm doing is putting out the information that I got and putting out what I know. You know, if you have excuse me, if you have constructive input or things that will help not only myself but other viewers, I love those comments, and I love hearing from everybody. I love people leaving constructive comments down below. But if you're just going to be one of those Debbie Downer gear snobs, or one of those negative people that has nothing positive to say, and you're going to put those comments on my videos, I promise you, I'm going to come back at you, and you're not going to like what I'm going to say to you. And I don't care, because I don't care if I piss you off, because your opinion doesn't really matter to me. You know, I make my videos my way, and that's the other thing that with these gear snobs, they try to tell me how I should make my videos and how I should film my videos. And here's the thing, and this is for any of you guys that are trying to start in YouTube or doing YouTube. It's your YouTube channel, it's your videos, make them your way. Don't worry about what other people think. Stay true to yourself and how you want to do stuff, and you will succeed. And if you can touch just one person or help one person with that video that you made, whatever you're doing, then you accomplish what you're accomplishing when you're trying to make videos in the first place. So don't let the gear snobs get to you, because they're all out there. I get comments all the time about stuff, especially my earlier videos for first trying to figure this out and get better audio and doing stuff like that. Some of them weren't the best quality, but you know, it's a learning process, and I leave those videos up so you can see where I started and where I'm at now, and so I can see where I started and where I'm at now. I like to see that history so you can see how that progression has moved along. But the gear snobs don't like that, and there's a lot of people that scrub their old content, but I'm not going to do that, because I just try to keep it as real as possible on this channel. I keep it simple, to the point, and keep it real, and that's what I try to do. I'm not here trying to impress anybody. I'm not trying to impress anybody. I'm just making videos that I enjoy, that I like to make, and that I think are videos that other people may like. And I try to talk about subjects that I like. I'm not, I don't consider myself a content creator. I consider myself somebody that's just making videos and putting out videos that I like. And hopefully those videos will resonate with other people and maybe help other people out in the process, because with a lot of this gear that's coming up, a lot of stuff's coming up, you know, it's nice to be able to see a video where somebody's playing a guitar or demoing something, so you can get a better feel for that instrument or that amp or pedal, whatever it is, because we're going to such a digital age. Nobody's actually going to music stores and shopping anymore. They're actually doing all their shopping online. So to be able to touch and feel, or at least hear and see and get an idea of what that product is and what people think about that product really helps a lot. And a lot of people go to YouTube for that, you know. But there are a lot of people out there that make YouTube channels that are trying to sell you something, that are sponsored, and they're trying to do that. I am not. I am just a guy that over the years has worked really hard to have what he has. I finally, you know, it took me, I had to be in my 50s. I was, what, 52 years old when I finally was able to build this studio and have this the way I wanted it finally, after all these years, because I love music. And I utilize this studio. I let people come in here and play. I have people that come down and jam with me. I would love to have people come in here and do some recording. But my studio is open to certain people. I talk to people, and if I think I can help them out, especially young bands that are up and coming, then I let them come in here and utilize my studio and utilize my gear That's why I built the studio, was not only for me, but to help encourage others to play and give them a place where they can test out some gear and test out some stuff and get a better idea what they may like when it comes to do it. And that's another reason why I have all the gear I have. Is I mainly play out of my orange stuff, but I have a variety of stuff, so when other people come over, they can try it out and see what they like and see if that's something they're interested in. So anyway, enough with that. That's my rant about the gear snobs. Don't let them get you down, especially if you're a guy that's doing YouTube. You find the gear that works for you and that you like, and whatever that price range is, I don't care if that guitar costs $100, if it costs $10,000. If you like it and you love it, you play it. And remember this. If I can tell you one thing, Eddie Van Halen pieced together his most famous guitar, his Frankenstein guitar, was pieced together from secondhand parts that he got. His neck and the body were factory seconds that were in a pile that he got and stuff. And he got a Fender body and a Charvel neck, and then he pieced together that thing with pieces and parts and everything. And if somebody else had done that, they wouldn't have paid squat for it. But that guitar became one of the most famous, if not the most famous guitar in history, and from one of the most famous guitar players in the world. And it was just bolted together and put together by him in his studio or his basement, wherever he put it into, and he put it together himself. And it wasn't a very expensive guitar at all. I mean, if you take in consideration what he used to put that guitar together and stuff and build that thing, that guitar probably was under, it was probably in that $300 to $500 range. Maybe I'd say $300 to $400 range is what he had in that guitar to build the Frankenstein guitar that was so famous that he played all over the world. So you keep that in mind when you guys are looking at gear and looking at stuff, And there's a ton of companies out there like ESP, who puts out the ESP LTD line, and Schecter, and there's a bunch of other guitars. Solar Guitars is another one that puts out some good budget-friendly guitars that will hold their own against some of these guitars that cost way more than that. And if you guys haven't been paying attention, Epiphone, even though it's a sister company to Gibson, has been kicking Gibson's ass with the quality guitars they've been putting out lately. Because Gibson, I like Gibsons, but man, I don't know if I'd ever buy a Gibson again, just because they are still struggling with their quality control and they're trying to cram it down your throat. And I as much as I like Gibsons and stuff, I will take my Epiphones and the ones that I have any day over the Gibsons that are coming out. And you're talking about a lot less money, a lot less money. So anyway, that's my rant. I hope you guys like this video. Leave some comments down below what you guys think about the gear snobs, because I'd love to hear your gear snob stories. So put your gear snob stories down below and tell me what gear snobs you've had to deal with, and tell me what kind of equipment you guys are using. Like, I'd love to hear, what is your favorite guitar that you're playing, or your favorite amp that you're playing and stuff. I mean, because some of my favorite ones that I play all the time, I've got these Black Star ID cores, and I love those, man. They are great amps, but there's people that hate those things. I don't know why. They sound awesome, and they're not expensive, and they're great, and you could go gig with them, and that stereo sound is awesome. But anyway, that's all I got for you guys. I hope you liked the video, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Keep rocking.